All right, let's go. Let's roll with this thing. Yeah, we're going to grow it one way or another, right? Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for being part of the nation. You guys know how this thing roll. We're gonna go live like 95. We're gonna get this thing going. So many things on my mind. Let me get this thing going for you guys. It is what it is. I got no filter today. Got no nice little backdrop or anything like that. I just want to be able to talk to you guys. Don't have a long time, but let's talk Texas. Let's talk some football. We're gonna play against the Texans, and we already know how that goes. Jerry Jones, I heard this morning that he had owned the rights to the Texans at one point, the name and right. So he figured he'd throw them a bone and allow them to keep the name, which is cool. Chivalry is nice, you know. It is what it is. It's one of those things where you can say to yourself, cool, all right, Jerry Jones. So this game, as he always says, personal to him. When the Texans first opened up in 2002, he said that they lost, and it always crawled up under his skin, and he never want to be one of those guys that sponsor a team, showed all of the good deals to the team, and still lose. So it's one of those things where his coach gonna have to coach this game up, and Jerry Jones really want this win. In order to win, in order to beat the Texans, I believe that their quarterback is still young. This is his second year, and I think that he will give you a gift. But on the flip side, they got some wide receivers that can get separation, create space within short areas, and they also on the defensive side of the ball. Do I have to say J.J. Watt? They have J.J. Watts of the world. They have the other guy that's named Clowney that turns the opposition into a clown. So they're gonna have to figure that out. Cowboys. There's a weird stat out there that every time Dak Prescott gets sacked, he loses 10 points off of his quarterback efficiency, 10 points off his QBR. So we're gonna have to keep Dak Prescott clean. Now, misdirections, running directly at the actual guys that coming off the edge may be a plus, because last game we didn't have that. We didn't have a J.J. Watt to worry about. We didn't have a Davion Clowney to worry about. So this game coming around the corner, we must, and I'm telling you, we must have this young team that we playing with got to be on G, waiting on O. They cannot have the bonehead mistakes. They cannot have the indecisions of Dak Prescott holding on to the ball too long. We have to get the ball out. Ezekiel Elliott got to know where his boundaries are at, and he have to stay in bounds. So we're going to have to figure out those things. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to B. Rob, first person that's in the chat box on the YouTube sides of the world. D. Wilson, thank you for tuning in. No, wait a minute. Yeah, you second person. Second place, D. Wilson, and Joseph and Santana, y'all down the line. So shout out to y'all, man. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Don't forget, I have a podcast. It's LAW Nation. Join that podcast. You can hear me live like 95 there. Over onto my YouTube panel or my Facebook panel, we got Jamal live like 95, man. I saw your message. I wish I was able to go up there and take pictures with you. I didn't see it until it was too late. So maybe next time, man, we can chop it up, man, that way. But shout out to you, man. Thank you for being on the panel, man. Kerry Teagle, thank you for tuning in. Marcus, Leon, Felton, thank you all for tuning in. And Marvin, thank you as well. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, put it out there to the masses. All right, so in order for this Cowboys to win, run the ball. RUN. The film breakdown, film sessions of LVE is coming out soon. I looked at his tape last night, and I was sitting there saying, my goodness, the guy's explosive, fighting through trash. He got that long range and length to get to the opposition. I like that. And then on top of that, the young wide receiver, Gallup. I'm showing growth. I'm showing growth in his separation, his release, getting off his stance. The short area quickness is there. The separation out on long patterns, I'm seeing him getting a little separation there. Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin is our special I'm gonna call it. I don't want to say Weapon X. He's all Special X. Speed force, speed kills. And I'm seeing with the opposition that they like to follow and trail Tavon, and they go wherever he's at on the field. And I like that. He brings in extra awareness for the safety and the linebacker. They try to this is the thing. It's always a mixed match or match out of hell with him, because do you put a slot corner on him, and then when he lines up in motion to the inside, do you try to have your linebacker on him? And then he's gritty a little bit. I saw him getting inside, blocking, becoming an inline blocker, blocked pretty well to me. And he's small, like 180 pounds. So that's something out there that I saw with my eyes and saying, oh, wow, okay. Tavon Austin is doing his magic out there. And then on top of that, the Allen Hurns, short area guy. He's not going to take the top off the defense, can catch the slant. I'm thinking that what they did in Cowboys, they're going to look back at the film like I'm doing now, and what they're going to say to themselves is just maybe, less rotations of the receivers out there, the better poise and continuity that Dak Prescott would develop with those guys. So I guess less is more in a sense. And speaking of less is more, I heard today that Dez Bryant said, I would like, if I would like to play for anybody, I would like to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Young people out there, those who maybe work at a certain job and the job released them. That's why it's always good to keep your bridges intact. You never know when you have to go back across to the other side. Speaking out of anger, speaking through your emotions, sometimes we'll get in your way. We all been down there. Show of hands, people that have been down there before. We've been down that road before. We've been down the path that Dez Bryant been down before. And I'm not even going to blame Dez Bryant at this point. 100%. I'm not going to put 100% on him. Maybe I'll put 88% on him, and the other percentage goes to Rock Nation. I think that Rock Nation should have said, hey, Dez Bryant, you're the all-time leading touchdown receiver of the Dallas Cowboys. Don't worry. Don't say a word. Dallas Cowboys franchise is high up already. Don't say anything. We're going to do all the talking. We're going to be your spokesman. Don't worry about being on Twitter. We got everything. We got you. Don't say a word. And he would have been with a team already. But sometimes he just like me. You see, the silver and blue is so true that you really can't see yourself in another uniform. So I feel what he's going through. But if Bryce Butler's able to get back to this team, maybe, I don't know. But let's talk about this. And I'm going to jump back to the Texans versus Cowboys, but I just want to reel this in. If Dez Bryant do come back on this team, who are you going to release? Is it T. Will? Is it number 15, Deontay Thompson? Or do it have to be a receiver? Maybe you get rid of one of the tight ends. And I saw the tight ends, although they didn't have a productive game as far as catching the ball, and Dak Prescott missed the ball too high for, I think it was Jarwin or Swaim, and then also missed the ball too fast for Rico. But they blocked pretty well out there. This was the game that I saw last game that they blocked well. So would you get rid of a tight end, or would you maybe, do we still have three quarterbacks out there? Would you get rid of one of the quarterbacks? I don't know. Let me know. Put that in the comment section below. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Shout out to Anthony. Thank you for tuning in on the YouTube. Emmanuel, and also Young Onyx. Man, thank you for tuning in. Jordan K. Yes, shout out to you. We need Dez back into draw the safeties out of the box. Okay, let's think about that. And I like that questioning there. Let's say if you so happen you do have Dez back onto the lineup, right? You put Dez back into the mix. Immediately they're going to go back to the traditional thing of doing box bracket covering, meaning that you have the over-the-top safety, and then you have the underneath guy. That's to take away the slant and also take away the dig and also take away the button hook routes that he run. Normally, Dez will run a go here and there. So if you do a bracket coverage, what that does, that open up a lot for Tavon Austin, because you can't bracket cover Tavon Austin. You can bracket cover Cole Beasley, but you cannot bracket cover Tavon Austin. So I will say, from a film guy, from a guy to look at tape and evaluate the all-22 and see what Dez Bryant can do out there, yes, that will benefit us tremendously, because now you're going to have somebody that's a proven commodity that teams are going to say, okay, we must take him out of the equation, because we know that it's like momentum, like college football. You guys play the college football, the team with the momentum normally wins and things like that. So with Dez Bryant, yes. Will the playbook open up even more as far as the running attack and things like that? Because Dez is a good blocker as it relates to running. He's a big physical guy who's not afraid to get his hands inside and demolish the smaller DB, because 9 times out of 10, the DB is going to be, 6 foot and below. So Dez Bryant is already going to have the physical size to just destroy that DB, and he's going to create space on that side. And then on top of that, they're going to play him a little cushion, because they don't want to, normally they don't want to try to jam Dez on, because there's so many other factors, because they're trying to play that bracket cover. So yeah, I can see that. There's a strong point to have Dez Bryant back on his team. Don't get it twisted, because one can argue and say, look at it from the eye point of view and say, okay, Allen Hurns, they both physically, he looks like a Dez Bryant physically. But Allen Hurns is only relegated to the inside. Not trying to sully or denigrate Allen Hurns, but to me, he's an inside slot guy that so happened to be 6'1", 6'2". Can he be on the outside? No tape shows that prove that he can stay on the outside for a long period of time. That's just how it goes. Now, T. Will production. We saw T. Will all this year has been quiet. One can argue and say, well, Dak is not getting him the ball, but no. Normally you saw a sighting from T. Will by now, and they saying that they nursing the foot, so that's the problem with that. So moving forward back to the Texans. Okay, I got to answer this question though. As far as salary for Dez, let me see. Salary for Dez. Thank you for that, Dr. TX Rain. Salary for Dez. Dez salary. How would they entertain that, and will he be comfortable? And it would be disrespectful in a sense for them to say, but he been on the market long enough for them to say, hey, Dez, what about the veteran minimum? Can we give you veteran minimum? That would be disrespectful. So I'd say maybe $3 to $4 million, bring him back for 1 year or what have you. Maybe that will be the salary range for him to be in the lines of being respectful. But will he take that? That's a lot of pride under the line, especially wearing that number 88. But league minimum, that's what a lot of people saying. Put that down in the chat box. Let me know, and I'll go back and I'll review you guys' comments on that. But moving a little bit further, talking about the Dallas Cowboys versus the Texans. Will our wide receivers be able to break away and get free and eat? That's going to be hard, because Dak Prescott, he's going to have he's not going to have the luxury of holding the ball 2.8, 2.9, 3 seconds on this particular team. And they got a big guy that's in the middle. I forgot his name. And they got 2 guys that are coming across the edge. So the ball have to come out quick. So I would say that these routes that the wide receivers run, I would do this. I would still get in pistol formation, and I would say, okay, mano a mano, my top 5, my 5 guys that's up front, my offensive line, they're going to have to really set the tone. Hit everybody in the mouth. Go run, throw, run, pass. Just do some, mix those things up with the play actions, and you have to take this thing deep. That would take this, that would just release all the pressure that's up front. Trust me, the Texans live off of creating pressure. Now, do they have a linebacking core that's just like out of the sights, out of this world? No. So I think that Ezekiel Elliott can still eat when he gets to the 2nd and 3rd level, but at first you have to soften that front 4 from the Texans, and I think that this game can be like a winnable game. Now, this is the other thing. I know, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to do this film breakdown, and you guys going to see football is a game of inches. And before I close this thing up, football is a game of inches. Cheeto Woozy, last game, he did everything you want a cornerback to do. The only problem is that Matthew Stafford, he put that ball right on the money. And if you go back and look at that tape, he was just as close. And trust me, I like Watson's ability. But I don't think that a second-year quarterback is able to put the ball on the money just like Matthew Stafford was able to do. So, although they got speedsters and they got a guy named Hopkins, he wears number 10, if you put Byron Jones on him, this is going to be one hell of a matchup. Byron Jones, we're going to see who really is Byron Jones this game coming around. I want all you guys to be out there ready to watch that matchup, Hopkins versus Byron Jones. To me, nobody tried to attempt to throw the ball that way because they was like, look, the guy got the world record in long jumping, high jumping, whatever it may be, but the guy can jump out the building. And he's playing uptight and long, lengthy arms and things like that. But I got to tell you this, that Watson, he sure will try to needle that ball. So this may be the game, guys. This may be the game that Byron Jones get his pick. Or it may be the game that they show who Byron Jones really is. So let me know, guys, how y'all feel about Byron Jones. Will he get a pick, or will they really show who really Byron Jones is, or whatever, whatever it may be. That's all the time I have for right now. I really thank you all for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join the notification squad. My guy, Cheeto Woozy, he said, hey, Law Nation, I'm part of the notification squad. That's what I'm talking about. So I know right now, if Cheeto is part of the notification squad, one of you guys can be part of the notification squad too. And let's get this thing going. Don't forget to hit that share button, and we're going to get this thing going one way or another. That's all the time I have for right now. And remember, you all are listening in to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Let's jam on out, baby. Let's jam on out. Yeah. You guys know I love you. Yeah. Lockdown Jones, yeah. Yeah, I like that. That should be his nickname, huh? Yeah. Peace.